All right, so where were we? We were doing hypothesis tests. Chapter 10 was on hypothesis tests. We did 10.2. I'm going to quickly run through the hypothesis test again, just so it's fresh in our mind, the 5 steps. Step 1 is identify H naught and HA. H naught always has an equal sign. HA is not equals, less than, or greater than. And really, what goes on the left is the same for both, and what goes on the right is the same for both. It's usually some value over here. On the left, we've done P, we've done mu. You can do standard deviation. You'll see today we can do like P1 minus P2 when we got different groups, well, how we deal with the different groups. But those are consistent. The things on the left of the equal sign and the things on the right of the equal sign are the same for H naught and HA, just the sign in between changes. H naught is always a statement of equality. There is an equal sign. And HA is always an inequality. Step 2 are alpha. Identify alpha. Our go-to, our standard is 0.05. It's our default. This is for fairly strong evidence against H naught. Sometimes we want more severe shit. So alpha equals 0.01 or even 0.01. This is like very strong evidence, and this is like overwhelming evidence. But sometimes we don't care as much. Alpha equals 0.1 is just some evidence.
Does that say fairly strong evidence?
Against H naught.
Was there a page before this?
What?
Was there a page?
This is the 4th page. That could take it forever. No, this is the 1st page. Is that a little more readable?
This is 10.3.
No, we're leaving there.
Oh, so we're on 10.2.
I'm recapping hypothesis tests in general.
Okay.
So we're kind of in the middle. Like this is all hypothesis testing. What goes in this box, this is what changes. This is like the only difference for all of the fucking hypothesis tests is this box right here. Really, 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 really. Only thing that changes. In the next, 4 chapters. Step 3, find your test stat and p-value. This we'll be doing in StatCrunch, of course.
10.2, review on,
This is like chapter 10, this is all hypothesis test. So it's, yeah, it's 10.2, it's 10.3 also. I'll specify 10.2 in a second. I'm just recapping the general procedure. Next step is where shit starts, like, we gotta do some stuff besides let the computer do the work for us. We compare p-value and alpha. If the p-value is less than alpha, p-val too low, reject the hoe. We reject H naught, support HA. And this means there's going to be sufficient evidence. That's in step 5. I wrote p-val less than low. That's stupid. P-value less than alpha. My bad.
How do you find testa and p-val or, I think I'd be doing for stack range, you already wrote that down yesterday, right? Like how to find it.
I'll do it again. Once I get to the list. P-val is greater than alpha. The p-val is not too low. This is better than that stupid shit I said yesterday. Not too low. So do not reject H naught. Do not support HA. And not enough evidence. All of our knots go together. It's not too low, we do not reject, we do not support, and there's not enough evidence. Step 5, conclusion. Sufficient or insufficient evidence to support the claim of AH or HA. I don't see Jazz. Well, he made it. All right, so that was the general thing. So what did we do in 10.2? 10.2 was my 1P test, one sample proportion test. And H naught was P equals, HA was P doesn't equal, it was less than or it was greater than. And we did stats, shit under stats, proportion stats, one sample. If you had the data, you would have to use the with data. If you just have the summary, like how many out of how many, 59 out of 60, that's the summary, you would do with summary. As a reminder, its requirements had n times p times 1 minus p is greater than or equal to 10, and n had to be less than or equal to 5% of the population. That was the criteria to use the test. Ten point three, where we start today, is our one mu test, our one sample mean test. H naught and HA are one mu equals, and mu doesn't equal, is less than or greater than. How do your bangs not drive you fucking crazy, John Luca?
They do, I didn't, because I kind of just like woke up today and I was kind of busy, so I didn't really get to get ready. I usually don't like in my face.
Like, that would just drive me fucking bonkers.
The guy usually does my hair is busy recently. Just can't remember.
It's 12:30, too early for John Luca today.
No, I was. Cause I had
Fucking spoiled.
No, first of all, I was up way before 10:30. It was. I got preoccupied with the
Yeah, we're up way before, and you had to go take a nap.
No, I had like 5 alarms set for like 8.
So you were up at 8. You have been busy since 8 and never brushed your hair. I like
Not
that.
I brushed it. I like.
Too much fucking, League of Legends and shit like that, right?
No.
Gotta get my fucking game on. I'm fucking twitching. I'm gonna fucking be doing stats homework all day. I need to get my game on. I hear you. I feel you. I ain't judging. No judgment.
I haven't touched the game since like last weekend.
That's a goddamn lie. Ain't no one in here believes that for fucking a second.
I'm serious. Oh, okay, maybe Monday actually.
Yeah, there it is. This one, we're gonna be doing stats, T-stats. And one sample. What are our criteria here? We don't want any outliers. Outliers fuck up means. Remember, it's not resistant. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Bill Gates fucks up average income. We want independent samples. And we want them to be simple random samples.
We're at 10.3 now.
Yes. I distracted him talking about video games. Couldn't keep up. And you kind of want n to be greater than or equal to 30. Those are the big ones. Told my wife about your blasphemous ways. How you fucking love turkey bacon.
I had this food.
She just shook her head. She was ashamed for you. The rest of us are ashamed for you when you don't know better. Like my wife's ashamed for me when I fart in public because I don't know better. It's not that I don't know better, it's that I don't give a shit.
It's turkey bacon's good.
But you look all fucking guilty.
Open my snack noodles.
She looked like she's fucking stealing someone's shit right there. Like she took the candy out of someone's fucking Halloween bag. You get to do that soon. Well, not soon. You got several years ahead of you, but you get to do that in the future. For your kid. I assume this is your first one? That's the shit right there. Candy policing. Alright. John Lucas stopped writing. I assume he's finally done. You're all caught up. I'm going to assume you're going to stay caught up now. Let's do some examples. Alright, so some COS students read that Energizer bunnies are the shit. Energizer batteries, not bunnies, batteries. Energizer batteries last at least 75 hours. And an LED flashlight. They thought that was a long time. They don't think that it lasts at least 75 hours. So they test this claim. They test the claim with 25 AA batteries, AA batteries. And find a mean battery life X bar equals 76.6 hours and standard deviation of 4.43 hours. We will test the claim at alpha equals 0.5.
Is it 9 or 4.43?
4.43. Oh, fuck. His rough morning is making me tired. Just as busy as you sounded this morning, fucking all that League of Legends, it's exhausting. That's not even your thing, it's probably fucking like Minecraft or some shit
I
like that.
tried it and it made me so mad that I almost like punched up on my monitor, so I was like,
League of Legends?
yeah. You got me so mad, like
You got your ass kicked, didn't you?
bad. It's not, I know it's not good to a lot of people. But I'm gonna try it again just because I have a lot of people that I'm gonna like it.
It's too many fucking games. If you don't enjoy it in the first 10 minutes, fuck it.
I didn't expect it, like, a lot of people that I know played it, I didn't expect that. So,
I beta tested StarCraft 3 conference. Everybody in that fucking tryout line had to be fucking serious gamers for StarCraft 2. Because they pit you against, there's like 3 fucking factions. You're randomly assigned a faction and you play against other people fucking sitting there. I got my ass handed to me in like fucking 2 minutes. Like I've never played StarCraft. I'm like looking at the menus and shit. I'm thinking I'm getting like a tutorial so I can play it, try it out. I waited in line for fucking like an hour and a half and I was fucking done in 2 minutes. Just like fucking monsters came out of nowhere, just fucking start slaughtering everybody in my base. And you lose. I'm like, and it's called the Zerg. There's a fucking group called the Zerg, and they Zerg you. They made it into a bird. You build up your fucking minions like super fast. They like breed like rabbits, but they're like feral rabbits. They fucking like the rabbit on fucking Monty Python, and you just fucking send them in, and you raise them much faster than anybody else can. You go slaughter their team before they can actually build anything up. I didn't know. I wasn't on that team. Someone else was, and they knew what they were doing. All right, so this group, the COS students, didn't do something that was important, but we're going to pretend they did. Their sample size isn't 30. They only did 25 batteries. That's not good. They probably should have fucking done 5 goddamn more batteries so that they could argue that it's good, but we're going to pretend that the results are good. We're going to assume the rest of the shit is true. That I don't know how you make batteries independent. Maybe you buy them from different locations. I'm sure they didn't do that, but we'll pretend they did that too. A lot of things going on there that are a little suspicious. Don't always trust college students to do the fucking smartest things statistically. But that's okay. We'll come over here, we will hop in StackCrunch, and we will see how they did. So, stats, T-stats, 1 sample. They did not give us the result for each battery, so we're gonna do summary. For this, you need the sample mean, the sample standard deviation, and the sample size. We have those. Sample mean was 76.6. Sample standard deviation was 4.43. Sample size was 25. And what are we doing for H0 and HA? It said at least 75 hours. At least means greater than or equal to. So we're going to say that the HA is greater than, and we're going to do 75 hours. I should have specified this before I started getting the data.
So then what's the opposite? So if greater than is at least then, or, yeah.
We're going to do 75, equal 75 for the H0. Because it's a statement of equality. We're going to say the old batteries were 75 hours. They're testing the claim that it's at least, which is higher than. And we'll click compute. And we will get our test stat and p-value. I'll switch back over here and grab them in a second, or I'll just tell you what they say when we get to it. Let's go through our hypothesis test. Step 1 is we need to identify H0 and HA. And we were just doing that verbally out loud. At least is like greater than. So greater than 75. And the greater than is an inequality, so it goes on HA. We are talking about the mean battery life, so it's a mean. And that's gonna make H naught mu equals. Step 2, alpha was given. Step 3, my test stats were T-stat was 1.8059. And my p-value was 0.0417. I don't know what the fuck happened last night. My tooth, like fucking 20% of it's missing on the outside. Like a big old fucking jagged edge. I didn't chew anything hard. I didn't bite anything hard. I don't remember anything fucking hard in my mouth. No fucking piece of tooth or nothing. I don't know when it came loose, why it came loose. It just fucking is gone. And it was like my inside of my cheeks a little like sore from touching it. Very minor, which is what made me feel inside. I'm like, why? I thought I had something in my teeth. A fucking big old jagged edge. It's like literally like fucking, like if this is like this is my tooth, the round part of my tooth, like that is like missing on the fucking side of it. I'm like, what the fuck? You have to go to a goddamn dentist. It's a wisdom tooth, maybe they'll pull it. That's gotta be cheaper than fucking doing a cap and shit like that. It's gotta hurt like a motherfucker. All right, back to the problem in hand. Enough talk, you're all like, Dennis, this is even better than fucking turkey bacon. Let's go.
Is alpha always gonna be 0.05, or
No.
is it gonna have, or when it's not given, is it 0.05?
When it's not given, it's 0.05. That's like our default unusual setting. So for step 3 or step 4, we compare our p-value and alpha. P-value of 0.0417. How does that compare to my 0.05 alpha? Is it less than or greater than?
Less than.
It's less than. P-value is too low. Reject the hoe. Support HA. HA was the mean battery life is bigger than 75 hours. There is sufficient evidence to test the claim. That Energizer batteries. I'm gonna say AA batteries because that's what they tested. Last more than 75 hours. When used in a simple LED flashlight. At alpha equals 0.05 level of significance. Probably that fucking top of eating fucking gristle.
That's step 5, right?
Yeah, that's 5. I didn't write 5. You're right. That is step 5. That is just like a fucking final test question with a final test answer. You'll be given some shit like that, other than I will give you three, the information in three, and you won't need to find it. It will say like t-stat was 1.805, p-value was 0.0417. Test the claim at alpha equals 0.05 level of significance.
Are any of the questions gonna be multiple choice, or is it all set up like that?
They're all like this. Multiple choices is for fucking people that don't think their students are bright enough to fucking do well without it. Or it's for booby trap teachers. They're pathetically, they're a fucking joke, like two of them just don't even make sense. It's damn near a 50-50 guess. If you didn't study, you should still like get 50-50 if you have any inkling in what you can remove. Or there's those teachers like my chemistry teacher when I transferred to UC Merced, where did I tell you guys about him? Every fucking multiple choice answer was a realistic answer. He went and did like the correct answer, and then the three most likely ways to fuck up the problem, he calculated the answer and had that answer on there. So lots of fucking people walked out of that fucking exam, those exams thinking, I know what I'm doing. It was a multiple choice test. And there was a lot of people that didn't pass that class. Passing that class was like a fucking 55%. You didn't get 55% was a C. A C. You don't get that shit here at COS. We all respect you a little bit more than that. He didn't respect very many people. He was right though. Most people he had a high fucking fail rate. And a lot of fucking students that like go to college directly, not at like COS or like a community college. Mommy and daddy are paying for it, and they really don't fucking appreciate like how much that shit costs. And they're all fucking around doing all sorts of shit. Don't waste your guys' money. Enjoy this free ride. All right. Any questions on that?
When you're finding the alpha, or like when you're reading it, how can you find alpha? Well, if it's not given to you.
You get to say it's 0.05. You just, if it doesn't say, use 0.05. If you're actually doing this for your own like career or something in the future, you pick the value.
Okay.
We pick the value based on like how severe we want it. 0.05 is good, strong evidence that H naught's not true. If you want some shit like people are gonna die if I'm wrong, like you want to use like alpha is really like super strong. You don't want to make a mistake. So you use a really, really low alpha to make sure that you're right. If it doesn't matter, like fucking stopping the vending machine, 0.1, 0.2. But who's really doing stats for shit that doesn't matter? A lot of people. There's a lot of fucking research things. This shit. You're like, who the fuck authorized you to research fucking, I don't know, Toad's fucking flatulence rate? Who gives a fuck? I don't know if that's a real research thing, but there's shit just as stupid. We're gonna do more like this. So you're gonna see enough of these over the next couple days. You also, it's worth checking out. When I get home tonight and when I get home tomorrow, I've been posting the stuff from Math 321, the morning ones. Today, all I did was problems from chapter 10 and chapter 11. I went over like the similar criteria what we're doing, then I did problems directly from the homework, which I'm not gonna do with you guys. I definitely wanna do the same ones because you can always go and watch those videos if you wanna see more problems worked out. All right, let's give you guys another one. This is from my online lecture notes. This is on mean weight of quarters. Notes, page 118. This is in Canvas. But the mean weight of quarters is 5.76 grams. I don't think weight is the right word. That's the mean mass. .67 grams. State quarters have different images on the tail. And so reachers want to know if the mean mass is different. We have a bad habit of saying weight as if it's a mass. You'll see people like they weighs and they'll say kilograms and shit like that. Pounds is a unit of weight, it is. Kilograms is not. Kilograms is a unit of mass. Weight is the amount of force you apply to the earth because of your mass. So they're directly related, but, all right. Assuming you got that quiz well, John Lucas still writing that shit, doing it, because it's fucking like pictures and shit for him. Here's some fucking quarters that they weighed, or measured. I'll try to make this so it's kind of like a stacks of 5. There's 18 quarters here. I have a dentist appointment like the first week of the semester for like a regular checkup. I'm wondering if I should try to go in early and go, look at my tooth, and see if they'll actually do something about it in the next 2 weeks, rather than like fucking having to deal with it while I'm lecturing fucking Monday through Friday. I'm gonna have to call and ask. It's annoying. I was not really looking forward to having a fucking dentist visit that hurts, but I don't see any possible outcome where this doesn't fucking, I don't get stabbed in the fucking mouth. All right, so I have this in a spreadsheet. Well, not a spreadsheet, it's on my lecture notes. I'm gonna go grab it and copy it and paste that data into StackWrench. I could find them. There they are. That didn't work. Copy. Sure. Okay. So I got my 18 quarters in here. When you're doing it with data, the test isn't a lot different, but I guess I didn't do H0 and HA. I'm already, keep fucking jumping ahead of the gun. I got the data in. Let's go back and start talking about, God damn it. Keep pinching my fat. What is H0 and HA here?
The 5.67 grams,
Is what?
HO.
Yeah. And it's mean, so we're gonna say mean is 5.67 grams. What symbol are we using for HA? What's your thought, John Luca?
I was gonna put the X bar, but
You're gonna put what?
the X with the bar on top of it.
Like that?
Yeah,
That's sample mean,
yeah.
not it. Good thinking though.
What do they call it? It's like the equal and the cross.
Yeah. Not equal.
Not equal.
It's all not equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's HA. That's step one. You don't have to number the steps if you have them all. I'm just looking for the information, but if you number them, it helps you keep track of what you're doing. That one's for Sarah today, not for you, Mateo. I don't want you to feel left out over there. That one was warm. What's 2? What's step 2? Alpha. What is alpha? Where'd you get that?
Universe.
The universe. You're right, it's not listed, so we're just gonna pull it out of the universe. The universe gave it to us. Step 3, we gotta go and get our own. So our stat and our p-value. Now that we have H0 and HA, this is easier to do. Wait, Kira's
No,
fucking,
you're good, you're good.
she got her squint going on. That's the, I wear glasses, but I don't want to fucking sit in the front row. Scotland back there, guilty as fuck. Brenda's guilty as fuck. You wear glasses, you should be sitting in the front. Unless they're sunglasses.
We wear glasses, so we don't have to see.
I'm just trying to like get it.
I'm hearing excuses, what I'm hearing. Stats, T-stats, one sample, we have data this time. Now we just tell it what column our data's in. That's all we gotta do. Well, we do gotta tell it what H0 is and HA. H0 was 5.67 and HA was not 5.67. And I get my T-stat is 2.75. Since this isn't like a homework problem, that's all I need. P-value is 0.0136. I'm gonna pull up something else while we're here. We're gonna look at the confidence interval for something related. And I'm gonna do 90% here.
Doesn't have it.
So I'm gonna write down my lower bound and upper bound. I'm gonna reference it in a second. It's not part of your normal 5 steps. It is something we can learn about though. So my lower bound here is 5.68. And my upper bound here is 5.72. I'm gonna reference that in a second. We got our t-stat and our p-value though, we got enough to get some shit done.
So limits and bounds are the same thing, just.
Yeah, limit and bound is the same thing. I don't know if you've noticed, if you've started any of this shit, the homework will reference H1 and the fucking StatCrunch uses HA. And the goddamn authors knew the whole time that they were fucking using StatCrunch and they fucking changed the shit. They're just like, students will figure it out.
That's fair.
It's fucking fucked. You know what? George Woodbury works here. He's a math teacher at COS. He's a co-author of this. I'm gonna give him some shit. I'm just trying to fuck with students, make them think. But that's not our job to make them think. We're just here to give them a fucking degree, right? No, we're here to make you think. That was a trick question. Step 4, compare p-value and alpha. P-value is 0.0136 and alpha is 0.05. Is that less than or greater than?
Wouldn't it be 0.0136?
That's what I have. What are you talking about? Less than or greater than? Less than. Less than, what does that tell us?
Too low, reject the hoe.
Too low, reject the hoe. Which means we're gonna support HA. Which means there's enough evidence. So there is sufficient evidence to support the claim. That the mean mass of quarters, of state quarters, is different than 5.67 grams at alpha equals 0.05 level of significance. I miss having you guys as students. I don't say that often. I usually miss like a couple students from each class, but most of you in here interact like a lot. Brenda just gives me the fucking stink eye from the back row. I don't even know Scotland's fucking doing stats. She's back there just doing her own thing. She's fucking writing a book. Fucking with you. Probably taking notes, huh? I've never done one. I never got into typing my notes. I type faster than I write, but like, there's just too much math shit that's hard to type. Even this, alpha, I gotta fucking spell out alpha and shit like that. Mu, that's a fucking. All right, so we did our test here. We figured out this is like the basics of what you would see on like one of the final exam questions. Let's take a look at that lower bound, upper bound thing and say, why the fuck did Jones do that? Where was Jones going with this? So my lower bound, John Luke is still fucking writing this shit. You take as long as you need there, champ. don't mind us. Lower bound was 5.68, upper bound was 5.72. If I put that on like a number line, that's right here. So like 5.70 is in the middle kind of thing. Where is 5.67? Where should I put 5.67 on this graph?
Or,
What?
right before the point.
Right before over here? Like
Yeah.
5.67. Right. So this is how confidence intervals and hypothesis tests relate. Right in here this is wherever we have our confidence level region. Confidence interval, I like to use CI. If H naught falls inside of it, we do not reject it. We reject things that, we reject H naughts that fall outside. Because this is very much like a bell curve thingy. In fact, it is a bell curve thingy. And there's our confidence interval region. And our bit shit falls outside, we are not confident that it's in the region. That it doesn't even belong in the region. What the hell, Bobby Ray?
You reject O's that fall outside. I see that on.
That is what it says, you're right.
See that on.
Way to fucking really twist that one. That's my own damn fault though, right? I'm the one that said p-val's too low, reject the hoe.
That's smart though, now it's catchy.
It's catchy, it's easy to remember. Don't reject hoes for no reason, they're good people. They just like to share. Sharing is caring, right? Isn't that what your parents taught you?
In some aspects.
Right. If a guy does it, it's not considered a hoe, it's considered a player. Right? Isn't that the difference?
There's like manhunt.
Is there really though? You call them man hoes? You call them man hoes or are they just fucking players? Or pimp, right? I'm gonna get in trouble, this is off topic. Okay, so like, and how do we decide this? So if HA is not equal. Wait, was this not equal? Oh shit, I shouldn't have done 90%, I should have done 95%. I'm gonna go back and change this. Shouldn't change,
How do you know what to put it at?
but should.
Okay.
For not equals, 1 minus alpha times 100% is our CI. So if alpha equals 0.05, this becomes 95%. And this works the other way. If you have a confidence interval percentage, if you have a CI, like say they give you CI as 95%, you can convert that into a decimal, go 1 minus 0.95 gives me 0.05, and that gives me my alpha. If it's less than or greater than, you want to do 1 minus 2 times alpha. So alpha being 0.05 would have given us 1 minus 0.1 is 90%. I went and redid this with the lower bounds for 95% lower bounds here. The LB was 5.677. And the upper bound was 5.727. So like doing 95% just made it go a little bit further up here on my picture. Like 95% added this much there and this much here. This was 90% and this made it 95. But still 5.67 is below 5.677. And so it was still outside the region. One more quick topic and then we will take a break and then we'll do chapter 11. And now that I've spent a lot of time recapping how to do hypothesis tests, I don't need to do that. 11's going to go faster. Because really the only thing that's changing is H0 and our criteria. That doesn't take that long to explain. You tell us how your fucking hot cocoa isn't any good anymore still? Mr. fucking child of privilege. My fucking hot cocoa machine that fucking makes itself and all I gotta do is like, hey, coffee machine, make my hot cocoa for me, and it fucking spits it out. It's not up to par.
I don't like coffee. I just like coffee.
I thought you said you liked hot cocoa.
That makes it. My sister likes hot cocoa.
You don't like hot cocoa?
Just,
The fuck is wrong with you?
it tastes too powdery and stuff. It's just like,
You ain't had good hot cocoa. Oh, you get some good hot cocoa, like Ghirardelli's hot cocoa mix, mix that with milk on the fucking stove. Oh, hell yeah. You just ain't had the right shit. You're using that fucking Mr. Coffee Pot that's built into the wall. You ain't doing it right. That's because you live with parents that feed you fucking turkey bacon and broccoli.
the hot cocoa doesn't come out the thing.
I bet you have cauliflower on the fucking vegetable list too, don't you? Nice and healthy for you. And you probably don't have cauliflower with the fucking like bacon and onions, like the only good way to make cauliflower.
Cauliflower casserole.
Not cauliflower, cauliflower's all right. The cauliflower's not the one I meant. It's not as good as broccoli. It's not as good, which is not as good as like corn. Corn's way better. I wasn't thinking cauliflower. I was thinking Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts can be good.
Yeah, you do.
I knew it. He loves Brussels sprouts.
They're always good.
No, they're not always good. They can be made good.
Have you ever got like the frozen top of them? Like it's just those like square and they're like slathered in butter. You just microwave it.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice.
It's called broccoli. It's a broccoli.
Yeah. So Brussels sprouts, the real way, the great way to make them is like fucking bacon on it with some onions, and fucking throw that in the oven. And just onions caramelized, and bacon's got that salty, and then you got the sweet from the caramelized onion. And it overrides the boring blandness that makes up the Brussels sprout.
Especially if you put the salt and big vinegar over it.
I don't know about that.
It's good. Take a look at it.
Aren't you still in potatoes stripping up? We're talking about food right now.
I know.
That lasted till fucking Thursday. It worked for 40, I lost 10 pounds in like 3 days. 3.5 days, I lost a little over 10 pounds. And like, I was eating, I might as well pause it.
With the potatoes.
We're already fucking whatever we're doing. There's one other topic that comes up, it's statistical significance versus practical significance. I like to call this common sense stats.
Or is it still 10.2, sorry?
I'm sure there's a problem in 10.3, I think, on it. We haven't been in 10.2 for a while.
Oh, I mean, is this 10.3 still?
Yeah, we're still chapter 10. I like to call this common sense stats. I didn't write that. Common sense stats. That's my own terminology for it. What happens is that when n is really large, bless you, and we get a p-value less than alpha, we get stuff that, like, the significance is maybe not that important. Like, normally we get some weird stuff going on. Let me just give you an example. The idea is large n is good. That gives us statistical significance. You want a reasonable amount of n. Really large n, you get some shady shit. That's in the meh category. You may get something that says that where like the p-value is close to alpha, but above it, or below it, we'll get p-values close to alpha, but it doesn't show up. Let's just get to the fucking example. How about I do this? So, in 2003, switch colors so it shows up. In 2003, the average age of a mother of a first-time mom was 25.2 years old. To see if this has increased,
Wait, what is this that we get? Say a weird example? At the top.
we get weird shit. Ignore writing all that shit down. Let's look at the example. I think when you see the example, that's gonna put it, you'll be able to put it in the words you want to use that make way more sense than the fucking rambling I just did a fucking minute and a half ago. All right?
So don't write it down.
The problem, write down the example, because that'll help you like go, okay, this makes fucking sense. And it should make sense to you. You're gonna be like, yeah, I totally hear him. I don't know what the fuck he was saying earlier with this weird shit thing, but what he said now with the example, it fucking tracks. It makes sense. So see if this went up. They sampled 1,200 mothers. And they found a sample mean, they found X bar to be 25.5 with a standard deviation of S equals 4.8.
Is it at first time what?
Mom,
Sorry, I haven't like,
it's okay.
I've seen today, I don't know.
I'll stop. I'll let you get you. Need a haircut.
I was just
You spend
thinking.
too much time fucking moving your hair out of your eyes and you're fucking losing track of it. Sarah's over here bored. Done all this shit. That was for Jazz, but he's not here to collect. Maybe I should put it in a bottle and save it for him. We talked about that in here, right?
You think you're supposed to be here today?
Have you not looked that up?
What?
Look, selling farts online, look it up. You don't believe me, look that shit up.
I believe you.
It's not like scratch and sniff, you're not gonna smell anything.
Because I believe you.
So you open it and you just get a freaking uppercut of
Right?
shit.
The fucking new internet version, you fucking go to websites and you start smelling shit. Fucking 4D fucking web surfing.
Ugh.
We're gonna test this at alpha equals 0.05. So like, they wanna know if it went up. Went up means increase, so increase would mean mu is greater than 25.2. And that means mu is 25.2 is the H naught. And we have our X bar and we have our S and we have our N. This is our N, 1200. We can go run this test.
Wait, why is mu greater than? Cause it says they went up.
To see if it went up.
Okay.
They think it's gone up. All right, let's go over and take a look. Stats, T-stats, one sample with summary. We've got 25.5. We've got 4.8. 4.8, right? And then we've got 1200. And we're testing against 25.2. And we're checking for greater than. And I'm gonna I'll put it out on my p-value. I'm not gonna write down the rest because we don't need to do the full test here to get the gist of what's going on. P-value is 0.0153. Alpha was 0.05. What kind of judgment do we make about this now? If we were going through with the hypothesis test, what would happen?
It's less than.
It's less than, so it's too low. We reject the HO. We support HA. HA is, there is evidence that the mean age is greater than 25.2 years.
Greater than?
More than, increased. If it went up, it's greater than. Mu is HA,
Mhm.
and we're supporting
Oh,
HA.
yeah.
So the mean age is greater than 25.2 years. And wait till everyone's got it written down, so then we can go like, what is statistical or versus practical mean? So, the mean age has gone up. This is said to be statistically significant. The sample age was 25.5. How long do you think, how much time is the difference between these two mean ages? 0.3 years. Oh, how long is 0.3 years? 3 months, maybe 4 months, 3.5 months? Has the mean age really gone up? Is that really like all that practical? Not really. Like, they're still fucking super close. They're still both 25. Both of them would, like anybody in that range would say, I'm 25. Okay, you were born in fucking May and not September. You're still, that kind of thing. It's not really all that practical, but the research would say this is statistically significant. But it's not. It's not a significant difference. They're not even a year apart. So while it shows statistical significance, it's not considered practical because in all reality, it's not that big of a difference. When we do these things, we're dividing, standard deviation is divided by the square root of n. And so when n gets really, really fucking large, the standard deviation done by the system gets really, really, really small. And so they start saying little differences mean a lot. This is a little difference. 3 months is not a big difference. But since n was so large, it looks like it. If we went and changed n, what if n was a lot lower? What if n was like 100? Now look at that p-value. It's 0.2667. That's in the, nope, we're not rejecting H0. Nothing's fucking changed. H0's good. The mean age is still 25.2. So it has to do with n being really large. That changes our response. And sometimes, if you really look at the results, you're going, no, that's not a big difference. That's the idea of practical versus statistical. Does that make sense? Was that like more illustrative than me saying there's weird shit that goes on?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start chapter 11. Maybe I'll stop this video and make another one. That way it shows up as 2 videos.